The night shift isn't just quiet. It's isolating. When the world sleeps, there's no one to hear you scream. These are 5 true disturbing stories from people who work the night shift and witness something they could never explain. 1. The Man Behind the Glass. I used to work nights at a gas station off a nearly abandoned stretch of highway in Ohio. We were the only stop for 20 miles, so things were usually dead quiet between 1 and 5 a.m. One night, around 3:40, I was restocking candy bars when I caught movement out of the corner of my eye. A man was standing just outside the front window, still as a statue. He wasn't doing anything, just watching. He was dressed in dark clothes, hood up, hands in his jacket pockets. I figured he was either waiting for someone or just mentally unstable. But here's what creeped me out. He stood there for over 10 minutes, didn't come inside, didn't move, didn't even blink. I finally grabbed the intercom mic and said, "Hey, can I help you with something?" That's when he slowly turned, not toward the door, but toward the woods behind the station, and walked straight into them. I went outside with my flashlight, but there were no footprints in the snow. The next morning, I told the manager. She froze. Turns out a man had died crossing that exact stretch a year prior, hit by a truck. His body had been found in those woods, just a few feet from where the man disappeared. 2. The Morgue Technician. I'm a morgue tech in a large hospital. Mostly I work alone during the overnight shift. The dead don't complain, right? One night around 2 a.m., I was filing paperwork when I heard a metal clink. I thought maybe one of the refrigeration units had a loose latch, so I walked down to the cooler. One of the drawers, drawer 4C, was slightly open. About 6 inches. That's not normal. As I approached, I noticed the toe tag attached to the foot of the body inside, swinging, slowly, back and forth, like someone had just bumped it. I paused, trying to rationalize it. Maybe a draft? Maybe I hadn't closed it properly. But here's the thing. 4C held a John Doe that had drowned 2 days ago. I'd handled his intake myself. He was stone cold, lifeless. I slammed the drawer shut, relocked it, and backed away. Just as I turned to leave, I heard a whisper behind me. "Still cold." I didn't wait around. I left the lights on and called my supervisor. She didn't believe me, but she transferred me to pathology the next week. I never stepped foot in that cooler again. Three, construction site screams. I was the overnight security guy at a half-built office tower downtown. Most nights were boring. Just flashlight patrols, making sure homeless people hadn't wandered in. But one Tuesday night, at around 2:30 a.m., I heard screaming. A woman's scream. Blood-curdling. I radioed dispatch, but all I got was static. I sprinted up the stairwell to the 3rd floor, where the screams seemed to echo from. Nothing. Just concrete and steel beams. Then I heard it again, this time from above. I went to the 5th floor, still under construction, and noticed a ventilation shaft open near the far wall. The screaming turned to sobbing, muffled, as if coming from inside the vents. I leaned down, flashlight pointed in, just darkness. Then something moved, fast. I dropped the flashlight and ran. When police came, they found no one, not even signs of forced entry. But every night for the rest of that week, exactly at 2:30 a.m., I'd hear faint cries coming from the vents. I quit after 5 shifts. 4. The night janitor's mirror. I worked graveyard shifts as a janitor at an old middle school built in the 1920s. One section of the building, the gym and locker rooms, always felt colder. One night around 1:15, I was mopping the girls' locker room when I noticed the mirror fogging up, as if someone had just breathed on it. I froze. There was no one else in the building. Slowly, letters began to appear on the mirror. "Get out!" I turned around, heart pounding. Nothing. I bolted. The next morning, I told the head custodian what I had seen. He stared at me. Then he told me something I still can't explain. That mirror? We removed it 2 weeks ago. Renovations. There's nothing on that wall but tile. I went back the next night. Sure enough, no mirror. Just a blank wall. But sometimes, when I walked by, I swore I could see a reflection. One that wasn't mine. Five. The forest behind the store. I worked the overnight shift at a convenience store on the outskirts of town. Behind the store was a dense patch of forest that seemed to go on forever. One night, around 1 a.m., a girl ran in barefoot, covered in dirt, sobbing. She looked about 19. She kept repeating, "He's coming. He's coming. Please hide me." I locked the doors, grabbed the bat we kept behind the counter, and called the cops. When I asked her who was after her, she just kept whispering, "He has no face." Police showed up 10 minutes later. The girl was too shaken to explain much, but they took a report. The next night, I reviewed the security footage. Just before she ran in, something was watching from the tree line. A tall, pale figure with no distinct facial features. It stood perfectly still. Even when the wind blew, it didn't move. Then the camera glitched. Static filled the screen for 5 seconds. When it came back, the figure was gone. The girl never returned. Working the night shift may pay the bills, but for some, it costs them peace of mind. If you've ever had a terrifying experience after dark, tell us about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true horror stories every week. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.